And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth with their armies gathered to make war against him who was sitting on the horse and against his army. And the beast was captured, and with it the false prophet who was in the presence had done the signs by which he deceived those who he had received the mark of the beast and those who worshiped its image. These two were thrown alive into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. And the rest were slain by the sword that came from the mouth of him who was sitting on the horse. And all the birds were gorged with their flesh. Now, right here, I want us to focus not only on the mass chaos of those armies, but now we focus in right here of the Antichrist and on the false prophet. These people have been running wild for now 7 years, having all the power, having all the authority, speaking empowered by Satan himself. Now, in my imagination, I had this picture right here of how Jesus would finally face them, right? After 7 years of their heresies, after 7 years of leading so many people astray, 7 years of bringing so much fear to people, killing the martyrs. I imagine Jesus would come up to this Antichrist like, oh boy, you gonna get it, right? In the Spanish Bible, I'm gonna get my chancla, right? Sorry, I could say it. Okay, so, but how will Jesus defeat this person who is empowered by Satan himself? Will he be able, in my imagination, will this Antichrist be able to say, oh man, I'm gonna get my shank real quick, I'm gonna get one on Jesus? Will he be able to hit Jesus one time? Imagine him like that. Or even think about this, use your holy imagination here real quick, right? If Satan is the one empowering the Antichrist, and he knows that Jesus is coming down, don't you think Satan would be like this? Hey, use this special weapon that only hurts angels. Maybe this will work on Jesus. Well, you wanna know how it goes? Let me tell you. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8, the New Living Translation. Then the man of lawlessness, speaking of Antichrist, will be revealed. But the Lord Jesus will slay him with what? The breath of his mouth, and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. Okay, look at, in our imagination, Israel's crying, help us, save us, Jesus comes down. Oh, whoa, that's Jesus. We pierced him. Oh my gosh, right? Antichrist, I'm gonna get you. Jesus comes down, and with this glory, he sees the Antichrist from a distance. You know what he does? That's it. There's no drama. It's kind of anticlimactic a little bit, right? Like, come on, Jesus, make it a little more fun for us. No, that's it. The breath of his mouth. Destroy him by the splendor of his coming. And so we see in 2 Thessalonians that the Antichrist is physically killed. But in Revelation, it says right here that the Antichrist and the false prophet are thrown what? They're thrown alive in the lake of fire. Look at this quote. The beast overcame physically for a time, yet in the end he lost both soul and body in hell. The saints whom he killed lost their physical lives, but their souls were immune to his persecution. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both body and soul in hell. Where will the Antichrist be after all that? The lake of fire. And the lake of fire is eternal. And it'll be interesting because, we're gonna, as we continue to read Revelation, you'll see that Satan goes in there 1,000 years later, right? The fallen angels go in there, but for the time being, the first ones to go in there, Antichrist and false prophet.